The European Parliament has repeatedly taken position in matters of human rights, reproductive rights, and abortion law over the years, starting in the 2000s. However, these were usually resolutions pertaining to the situation of human rights and reproductive rights in either the member countries of the EU or the prospective member states of the EU. Recently, the European Parliament has been showing signs of what I would call rising global consciousness in matters of reproductive rights and abortion law. In 2021 and 2022, the European Parliament has taken no less than 3 resolutions relating to the situation of abortion law in the United States and, by extension, worldwide. It started small with a resolution on Texas and the contemplated restriction of abortion in Texas. The European Parliament has called on the state of Texas to consider its position and to withdraw the proposition to restrict access to abortion. Then, when the US Supreme Court decision on Dobbs was already hanging in the air, the European Parliament has issued a resolution on the threat to abortion right caused by the American situation. And again, it called upon the United States not to overthrow Roe v. Wade and not to produce a situation in which access to abortion in the US would be restricted. After the US Supreme Court has taken a decision in Dobbs, the European Parliament reacted again, this time by diagnosing a threat that was becoming very real globally as a result of the American Supreme Court's decision. Coming back to one of my previous talks on Dobbs and on the global relevance of Dobbs, it must be stated that the European Parliament clearly sees this global relevance and perceives whatever is happening in matters of reproductive rights in the US as important for the European situation. But the global consciousness of the European Parliament goes far beyond that. In the same 2022 resolution, we also find an praise of the development in abortion law in Latin American countries, 5 of them: Argentina, Ecuador, Chile, Mexico, and Colombia. And in some other countries of the world that could not, unfortunately, be put in such nice regional clusters. It is an important thing that Latin American developments do seem to form a regional cluster. This points, to my mind, towards a new global dynamic in coalitions in matters of reproductive rights, women's rights, and abortion law. In this new global dynamic, Europe and the European Union in particular would play together with Latin America and most of the countries of the Inter-American system. With whom would the United States play in this new figuration? What would be the new direction of the African countries, some of which the European Parliament also mentions, praising the more liberal abortion laws, but some of which are indeed heading in a very opposite direction? The 3 American resolutions of the European Parliament do show a changing self-perception of this body of the European Union, the only body of the European Union that is indeed political in the sense of expressing views about how the communal life of people should be shaped. The European Parliament is clearly willing to take a more active role in matters of reproductive rights. And this is also demonstrated by the inclusion in the 2022 resolution of a call on the Council and the Commission to introduce right to abortion as a fundamental right of the European Union. It should not be expected that this call will have any effect in any immediate future. However, the very formula the European Parliament is using, the call to amend the Charter as a reaction to what has been happening in some other place of the world entirely, shows that the internal consistency, that the interdependence of the global figuration of human rights is taking a new turn, and that the European Parliament is willing to take a more active role in this new figuration.